I see you've constructed a new lightsaber. Hey guys, I just want to talk about Return of the Jedi and the scene on Endor where Vader meets Luke. This is a fantastic scene and it has some incredible moments. First and foremost, as the scene warms up, we see these beautiful industrial light and magic models of the AT-AT and the Endor moon substation with the landing bay for Vader's shuttle. So beautifully done, even with the walkway and the lighting. I love the design of the stands and how they connect to the AT-AT and the trees coming up in the moonlight. It's really, really well done and really thought about and beautifully shot. Even the way Vader comes across on the sort of the hangar floor, it works really well. We see the AT-AT just come in nice and slow. Again, by today's standards, this still looks incredible. It really does. Stop motion at its best. And, you know, to actually recreate this scene where we have this docking moment where Vader comes aboard the gangway with Luke, and the officers, you know, greet him with Luke as a bandit. This is great because it's using the connection of the gangway to really show you the AT-AT side coming in, and you really feel that sort of feeling of perspective that it's just docked and they really are handing him over for real. Again, this is what makes, you know, the original so what's the word? They're just so tactile and real because the sets were there. And this is what's missing in cinema now, where, you know, that effort to detail has really paid off. Every bit of metal, every bit of lighting is real, and you can really see that in the scene. You know, and then moving on to sort of like, you know, the exchange with Vader and Luke here. This is, you know, one of the really sort of heartfelt moments for me in Star Wars where Vader meets Luke and sort of has that first intimate moment with him alone. And, you know, where obviously Luke tells him, "I know, Father." And he sort of that acceptance of the truth. And Vader's like, you know, right, you've come to terms with it. Okay, now let's get on with business. It's time for you to rule the galaxy with me. But, you know, there's that hint where Luke looks back and says, you know, I'm not going to do that. And Vader's sort of body language here, where he points the lightsaber at Luke, he's like, you know, he's basically saying, he's telling him off as a father. You know, he's saying, don't even go there, son. You know, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not playing games here. I've got a job to do. I've got to do what the Emperor says. You know how it works. You know how the system has confounded me. And even though that's quite an assertive move on Vader and quite authoritative, it's actually quite sincere because, you know, here's Vader sort of telling Luke off as his son, you know, even using the lightsaber to sort of make contact with him and touch him there. It's an intimate gesture of, look, man, you know, I can't do this, you know, and you know the reason why. And this is where Luke sort of really gets that sort of moment to exploit Vader, and he gets into the crack at this point where he says, okay, right, there's a somebody in there that I know is, you know, got a soul and it's going to open to sort of a deeper level of understanding of the Force. And as he looks away into the sort of Endor forest, he's trying to pull Vader in, and he does it. You know, Vader knows what he's doing, and he uses the lightsaber to distract him here, basically. He's saying, oh, you know, what about this amazing lightsaber? It's like, Luke's like, yeah, whatever, you know, like, come on, get to the point. You can make a lightsaber, I'm a Jedi master, whatever. But Vader sort of brings it back to that practical conversation, and then just here, he's like, oh, it's almost like, you know what, I've got that conflict too, you know. I know the feeling, but I'm back to where I was originally. You don't know, you know, what I've got to deal with here. This is a real issue for me, Luke. You know, and when he says that, you know, about the power of the dark side, that is basically what he's saying. He's saying you don't understand the treadmill. You know, and there's lots of things that we can relate to in this scene ourselves, you know, with going sort of like the 9 to 5, the sort of, you know, the constant need to keep up with life. And Vader is basically saying that here is, I'm trapped, you know, I'm on the grind. What are you going to do about it? And I think, you know, in this moment, he's sort of like saying, you know what, I can't even go there. He knows the weaknesses, and this is where Luke sees that moment, and this is where that focus is, where Vader's like, I'm on the grind, but here's an opportunity to maybe leave that and come with this guy who's called my son. And this is where Luke, you know, attacks. This is a Jedi mind trick. This is a full emotional attack from Luke. He is force projecting on Vader at this specific moment in time. And even the shot with the focus on Vader's back there, that is really powerful. We don't even see his face, you know, and this is This is great character development right here. You know, to be able to not show the character's face and feel the emotion, that is incredible. We can feel Vader's real conflict here. We can feel his torment. We can feel the twisted emotions in him. We can see the problem and burden he carries just from this one shot. You know, and then, you know, ultimately the weakness, you know, gets closed down by Vader. He's like, right, turn around. I'm not having this. You know, we are getting back to where we should be, which is you're coming with me and we're not going to talk about this emotional stuff. But Luke's not, you know, he knows the truth. Like, yeah, but you had that little moment, pal. You had that one little moment just there. I saw it. And that's all Luke needs. He just needs to see that moment to know it's in there. And he says that, you know, he knows, you know, the Emperor hasn't driven it from him fully. And he's right. He hasn't. And Luke has got his opportunity there. You know, and Vader says, you know, if it's your destiny to die, whatever. We know that's just talk from Vader. You know, underneath that, he doesn't mean that. He's not going to do that. He's trying to almost scare Luke off the trail. This is a sort of a tactic deployed by anyone, you know, in the normal world where they're trying to throw you off the scent. They know you've got an emotion. Maybe you've got a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner who's done that to you. You say, you know, what about that? You know, what about that thing? You know, whatever. It's a diversion tactic, and Vader's doing that here by scaring him. And you know, Luke tries for one last chance here, and you know, he's going for the jugular here with Vader. He's like, come on, I know it's there. Now we all know that was Luke's mistake here. That he should have just left it, and he's got enough. But I think he's just, you know, to be fair, he's given it all, isn't he? You know, he's got one opportunity here, so he's just going for it. Come on, come with me. And, you know, Vader just shows them that one last moment of, look, that is it. I'm shutting this down. And that's, you know, even when he gestures to the troops there, it's like, oh, no, damn, you know, we almost had him. And I've always looked at that hand gesture of like, come on, will you take him away? Because he's like, he's causing me to have emotions. You know, my son's not good for me, basically. Can you take him away? And then we see the white armor come in, and it's, you know, I love that shot of Luke just sort of the stormtroopers subtly behind him, sort of saying, okay, Vader's pincering him now. He's got his backup. He's got his henchmen. Great, here we go. And Luke is almost, you know, like he's residing in the truth now. He's like, okay, if that's the way it's going to be, we're going to have to do it the hard way, aren't we? Essentially, I'm going to have to fight you, and it's all going to come out in a big bloody mess, which is what it does, obviously. But you know, I think Mark Hamill really gives that feeling across here well. Just like we've all had conversations with our parents, where it's like, "Are you serious? You know, are you for real?" And that is the face of Mark Hamill here. It's really well done. And then, you know, as the stormtroopers take him off, this is probably my most favourite shot in the entire scene. This last moment with Vader where he looks back at Luke, really, really, really powerful. Again, using that cinematography to portray character development without actually showing much. We're just watching him gaze out into the darkness. Can't even see his eyes, but we can see that conflict, and it's so powerful. Even the way his little chest lights are flashing, even the way he's holding the bar, that's a sign of weakness in terms of body language. He's holding on because he feels weak. Everything is so subtle, but so perfect. And, you know, just the way he breathes here, staring out, we know what he's thinking. He's thinking something's gonna kick off, and he doesn't know what, and he's starting to lose a little bit of control there. Whether that's a good or bad thing to him is irrelevant. He just feels it, and it's really, really powerful. What a fantastic, amazing scene.